Want to start us off?
Nah, this is your project.
Oh, it's my project. Oh, now all of a sudden it's my project.
The podcast has always been your project.
All right. Hey everybody, I'm Cisco.
I'm Cody.
And we're back. 96.2's been gone for a minute. Haven't uploaded nothing. Haven't created nothing. But we thought we'd throw a podcast together right before Halloween and Tucson Comic Con. That's just around the corner, which we will also be at. But we got a lot to talk about. And first thing we want to jump into is Batwoman. And I know you have a lot to say about that. And I will give you the floor, sir.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, you have not seen it, even though there's 3 episodes on that I need to watch.
I have not seen Batwoman
being
yet.
For someone who's a huge Batman fan, I'm surprised you have not watched it yet.
I watched the trailer.
Close enough. You're not missing much. So, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I went online and did some research, and they're actually following the comics, or a comic storyline pretty closely. She is a cousin of Bruce Wayne. She does eventually become Batwoman. She is lesbian,
and that's that actress is the Ruby Rose, right?
Ruby Rose.
And she was also in
John Wick 3.
John Wick 3, and she was also in
no,
Netflix's,
she was in John Wick 2.
John Wick 2. Mm-hmm. Is she the girl who gets shot? Because she's
the deaf one.
Oh, okay, never mind. I got totally those ones mixed up. I thought she was the one that tries to jump him in the hotel room, and then
no,
they
that
kill
was the
her
first movie.
Oh, is that the first? All right, I'm totally mixed up on those 2 movies. But she was also in Netflix's Orange is the New Black as Piper Chapman's lover in one of those things. So that's cool.
But it's actually, so far it's not bad. They're not making her jump right into it. They're kind of slowly building up to her becoming Batwoman. I mean, she's got the tech right now, but she's still. It's a slow incline. They're not just jumping up. Hey, guess what? It's Batwoman all of a sudden. No, they're taking their time.
So they don't give her all the glitz and gadgets right off the bat. So she's like coming across those as it.
Yeah, she's coming across them.
The outfit. You were telling me about the outfit. What is that from?
The outfit? What?
You were telling me that the costume she's wearing in there, it's like Bruce Wayne's first costume or his costume.
Yeah,
before.
It's actually one of his outfits that she altered so she could wear it. I like the outfit. It looks good. The only thing is I wish that in this universe they'd give characters longer capes. Because the cape barely goes to like the back of the knees.
Well, you've never seen the.
Well, yeah, when they're like jumping or something, the cape's huge.
Well, you haven't seen the Incredibles where Enda Moses is like no capes because the guy's flying and gets sucked into the jet engine.
That's why no cape.
Who would in a fight, Batgirl or Batwoman?
Ooh. So that's a good point because
do they even
So she basically did what Bruce Wayne did. She traveled the world for like 10 years, 7 years or something.
Oh, is that why she couldn't
trained
little Bruce Wayne as a family? She was so busy with her own life and her father, and like, oh, sorry, we can't give you a family.
Well, what happened was her sister and her mother were killed in a car accident that Batman tried to prevent from happening, but an accident happened. It eventually killed the mother and the daughter.
We'll chalk that accident up to year 1. He didn't know.
And so it was just her and her father. And eventually, when she got older, she went to military school. And then she wanted to work for her dad at a security firm, but he said no. So she decided to start traveling the world to prove to her dad that she can do it. And she started training with people around the world. So, I mean, she has the training. Batgirl, I don't know how much training did she really have before she became Batgirl.
The question I have is, do they acknowledge the extended Bat family? Okay, you got Batman.
So far,
do you hear about Robin? Do you
hear
about
so far
Dick
it's just
Grayson?
Bruce Wayne.
Just Bruce?
Just Bruce so far.
So in this supposed world, we can have a Nightwing hanging around somewhere. Probably Bloodhaven.
There could be a Nightwing. There could be... I know they mentioned Lucius Fox. Because his son is now running...
Luke Fox, right? And then
Wasn't it Lucius?
Well, it's Luke. I think the guy's name is... I didn't watch it. I'm reading here. It's Cameron Johnson as the...
Oh, that's his son.
That's his son. Okay.
That's his son.
So that's what's going on.
So his son's now running the tech and stuff.
So Lucius over there on an island somewhere just relaxing in
the Bahamas, yeah, retirement.
Is this taking off the whole Nolan-verse of Batman with...
No.
He's like, we're gonna blow it up.
No. But Batman has been gone for, I think they said like 3 years.
It would have been great if at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, or the Dark Knight, where he's like, if this machine is here at Wayne Enterprise, I'm no longer just consider this my resignation. But you can have my son. My son will fill in for me. But like, once again, I haven't seen it. I know there's like a couple episodes out now.
The main villain is a girl named Alice. She takes after Mad Hatter from the looks of it.
So Tweedledee, Mad Hatter,
Yeah.
Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Mad Hatter, and all those guys. And Alice is
So far, she doesn't have a Tweedledee, Tweedledum, but she takes after a Mad Hatter.
Well, there is a Tweedledee, Tweedledum in the Batman comic series, and I think they even touch upon it in the animated series of Batman in the 1990 series. And of course, Mad Hatter has been in the video games, in the animated series, in the comic books. It's those are canon to us. But I would watch it. What would your criticism be on this?
I'm gonna keep watching it. I mean, I think
Is it slow going?
it does start kind of slow, but it does pick up. I don't know. I'll keep watching it. I'm gonna watch it anyway because it's part of the Arrowverse, and I like watching the Arrowverse.
Okay. Well, we're gonna spin that, and we're gonna go into the Joker. It's been a month now since the Joker came out. A little under a month, but a month nonetheless.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the Joker by now,
Spoilers
ahead. I don't care. We're talking about it because it's been a month, and shame on you. Shame on you about not seeing it. It's kind of like The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys by now, forget it. Go watch The Boys.
There's
and
been
when
plenty
you're
of
done,
time to watch it.
Watch The Boys. Go watch The Joker. And when you're done, go see The Joker again. I've seen The Joker twice already.
I'm see about seeing it a second time or just buying it when it came out.
No,
Because one thing we were talking about this earlier. Like I said, he's a huge Batman fan, and I like Batman a lot. I'm just not as big a fan as he is, even though I love Batman a lot.
No one's a bigger
We
fan
had
than I am.
totally different opinions on Joker, but there are some points we came to the same level.
The first thing I want to talk about the Joker is Joaquin Phoenix in this movie. In my own words, I didn't get this off of nothing. It is delightfully uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. There are certain scenes in this movie, like he killed his mother. Spoilers. And
We warned you.
warned you. They make you sit there from the beginning of it to the end of that scene, which is like, okay, that scene should have been about 15, 20 seconds long.
And you think they would cut away?
They would cut away.
They
No,
sat
this
there
is
and
like
watched
2.5 minutes longer than what it should have been. And it was kind of like we put you in a room and you're like, okay, I've seen enough in this room. Can we go to the next room now?
It's actually sitting there watching it in the room.
They let you stew in these scenes. They're like, can we move on to the next room? No, we're going to stay in this room for a while. They're like, yeah, I don't really like this room. It's kind of weird. No, this is the room we're in. Until we're done, we'll go to the next room. And in that, it's like, wow, you see the scenes and you're just kind of like, wow, this is really uncomfortable. I was squirming in my chair inside the movie theater. I was kind of like, this is not kind of the stuff I'm into, but
see, that's the thing is like at the beginning of the movie, you're sitting there, you're watching. It's like, okay, I know this guy's gonna become the Joker. I'm waiting for like how they're gonna make him become Joker. And then during the middle of the movie, near the end of the movie, you start to forget that you're actually watching a Joker movie, and now you're just thinking, okay, I'm just watching a movie now about this guy who's going insane, who's having all these things happen to him, and then you realize, oh wait a minute. This is a Joker movie. I forgot. This is how he became.
I compared it to 3 movies. I compared it to A House of a Thousand Corpses in the sense that because you're introduced to Arthur, Arthur Fleck is his last name, right? Fleck.
Yeah.
So you're introduced to him. You can't help but like him. Just in The House of a Thousand Corpses, the first character you're introduced to is Captain Spaulding. The actor, I forget his name, passed away just recently.
Yeah.
But
luckily he finished that last movie.
They wanted him to have a bigger role in the 3 from Hell.
Yeah.
Is it 3 from Hell?
Yeah, 3 from Hell.
So. But they wanted to have a bigger role in there because of health issues. He couldn't do it, but he put as much as he could into it. But in that, the first character you introduce to is Captain Spaulding. He's funny. He's charismatic. There's something about him you want to know more about. In this, it's the more eerie feeling of Arthur. You don't know what it is about him. You like him. You're cheering for him. Right off the get-go, just kind of like you did Captain Spaulding in The House of a Thousand Corpses. In that, I found myself like I watched Scarface and The Godfather for the first time. It took me back to when I first saw those as a kid, and I was cheering on the bad guy. You want the bad guy to win. You're like, the bad guy is the cool guy, Tony Montana. You want him to win. You want him to get one over. You see what's going on in Godfather, and you're like, yes, go for it. The bad guys are winning. Great. Law and Order doesn't exist in these worlds. And you find yourself cheering for him. In the first 5 minutes, he gets jumped by kids, and they kick the crap out of him. Mm-hmm. and you feel the emotional like connection right away. You're like, oh man, this sucks. Like you feel for this guy, but then you realize that he himself is uneasy, unsettled, and you're like, wow, this is like a world where I love how they went mental with this, where they went mental illness instead of just like, well, this guy's weird and crazy. No, it's mental illness overlapped with a world that's crazy, and you overlap those two violently, and this is the world you get for Arthur.
And they took a lot of cues from Killing Joke.
Exactly.
Because in Killing Joke, he talks about, some people just have a bad day. Basically, this is one of his bad days, and it turns him. And what really cemented it for me of him being the Joker was at the end when he's on the police car and he makes the smile. That one just really cemented me as at being the Joker.
There's a line in the Killing Joke where he uses in the movie, and it's not verbatim, but he pretty much says, "I had a bad day," which Joker tells Batman, the thing that separates me and everyone else is one bad day. And I thought that was kind of a good holler back, because stuff like that is important to talk about what inspires the movies such as this. There's certain scenes in there like I told you before, they Willy Wonka you from the beginning. In the scene with Gene Wilder, I'm not talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for all you guys. Oh, Johnny Depp? No, not Johnny Depp. We're not talking about Jack Sparrow. We're talking about Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, the original. I have that on VHS, by the way.
Oh, lucky you.
Yo, lucky me. I love that. So in that, they Willy Wonka you from the very beginning, because when Willy Wonka's coming out and he's walking, he loses his cane, he falls forward, he does the tumble, and he stands up, and everyone applauds. You don't know if Willy Wonka's lying to you at that point going forward. He could be lying about the whole thing. When Arthur's sitting there with his mother watching Murray, the TV host that he's infatuated with, which is played by Robert De Niro. Is it Robert De Niro? Yeah, Robert De Niro. He imagines himself there, and you're thinking like, did this happen? And then they bring you out of the scene. You're like, oh, that was in his head. And then he has an infatuation, imaginary relationship with the neighbor girl who played Domino in Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh, they have a relationship, and then they take it away from you, and then
now that I think about it, they kind of ramped it up each time. So there's 3 different times they do this. The first one's like a little small one when he's watching the show with his mom, and it becomes a bigger one with the relationship, and then
she's at his show when he's doing the comedy stand up, and then she's there consoling him as his mother's in the hospital. It takes bigger steps. You're right about that.
And then the biggest one was at the end of the movie. Was the whole movie actually real?
Exactly.
Or was it all in his head?
He's sitting there in the psychiatric ward of Arkham with a counselor, and he's telling her, he's laughing to himself. She asks him, "What are you laughing about?" I'm just thinking about a joke. And she's like, "Do you want to tell me?" He's like, "You want to get it." And then right there, you're like, did that all just happen in his head, or was that any type of real? Yeah. They Willy Wonka you from the beginning, and it keeps you guessing, which they already came out saying, well, some people came out saying that, not confirmed 100%. This is not the Joker that does Duel with Batman.
No, this is an alternate reality Joker.
Inspires the future Joker, like Jared Leto's Joker, or
well, no, they were saying that this Joker is in its own little universe. There's no other movies or shows or anything connected to it. It's its own little bubble.
No, there's so many different ways you can go. This is the first bad guy origin we get for a villain.
Yeah, they're calling it the Dark Series, I think it was. So they're gonna have
they should do Batman Metal.
They're having other villains
or DC Metal. The Joker who laughed. That'd be good.
Yeah, this Dark Series is supposed to be origins of different villains, and they're all supposed to be dark like this one.
I believe this Joker, I give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I give it a 9 out of 10, and I love this movie, it's just in certain areas of the movie, I don't even think the movie knew where it was going and what direction, but you were so invested that you were like, whatever way you want to go, we're with you. We're going to watch to the end. And then, like you said, at the scene when he's dancing on top of the car, he smears the blood over his face. It is very captivating. I loved it.
At the end of the movie, when I'm sitting there in the theater, I felt like the people in Men in Black when they get zapped and they're just sitting there dumb faced like.
I actually gasped out in the movie theater. I actually went, oh no. What happened was chaos is reigning in the streets. This is about the third act. And their chaos is reigning in the streets. Fires, cars are being tipped over. They're rioting in the streets. It was like the Lakers won the NBA World Series, or the Dodgers won. Los Angeles is burning at this point. Gotham is burning, and what happens is. You know what? Let's take a break real quick. You know when any team does like win the World Series, when they're like a good team, like in Boston when the Patriots win the Super Bowl, they have to go out and grease the light poles. So people don't I always find that funny because someone out there's a rookie officer getting paid. Going, I joined this to stop crime, and I'm over here greasing poles for a living.
It's like that one officer, like he hears this, like they win, and he's like, I'll grab my paintbrush.
Oh, honey, what are you going out for? Oh, honey, we got to go grease the pole. I don't know why I made him Irish, but it worked.
And they got the roller just
rolling in grease. But in that scene where everyone's riding, the cop is over there greasing poles and whatnot. Ooh, that sounded more dirty than I meant it to sound. We're going to edit that. Cut, edit. What happens is the camera pans down over a movie theater and it says Zorro on it. Mm-hmm. And right when I saw Zorro, you see Thomas and Martha Wayne with little child Bruce. I gasped. Oh, they're going for it. They're going for it. And I'm talking to myself, and I know the people behind me are like, we're going for what? I just watch the movie. And they're watching the movie, and that guy just watches them go down that alleyway, crime alley. And boom, boom. In this, Thomas Wayne is not a doctor. He's a doctor, but they don't harp that he's a doctor in previous movies. He's an elitist in this movie. So
he's an a-hole.
So when he died, there was not a lot of tears shed. It was just like, boom, he's dead. And boom, you got it right. I would have had a little bit more acting from that kid in that scene. But I think it was... And then you saw the big rats they were talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about the rats. They're like... It's a problem. They're saying this takes place in 1981, like New York, when they had
the 80s. There
are people saying 70s, but it's 1981. New York had a 17-day trash strike.
Yep.
The trash workers went on strike for better wages, better health plans, stuff like that. This takes place in 1981, almost the same premise, so you kind of get it. It's filthy there. Gotham has always been depicted as filthy.
It's kind of funny how much Gotham resembles New York.
Well,
doesn't it?
It's funny that they try to make it three big cities: Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. Yeah. Los Angeles presents the fact that when they describe Gotham, it's always neon, celebrities, action. New York and the tall skyscrapers and the city life of transiting from subways, taxi cabs, stuff like that in nature. But when you think about the crime, it's Chicago. They're depicting Chicago 100%. And funny enough that in previous movies, Chicago, New York have been bases for Gotham.
Oh yeah, especially like today when you see a lot of shots on like TV or something, and you see those iconic bridges from like The Dark Knight Rises, you automatically think, oh, Gotham. That's
Gotham.
And speaking of cities, Brooklyn, where that large staircase was, where he dances down the staircase.
You know what Gotham means in the dictionary?
No, go ahead.
Goat Town.
Goat Town.
It's Goat Town. It's like that's what it is. I've looked it up before, and it's like that's what it means.
So anyway, in Brooklyn, I think it's Brooklyn, where they had that long staircase where he's dancing down the staircase. Apparently, that is a huge tourist attraction now, and the neighborhood is ultimately mad about it because people show up there all the time now. It used to be real quiet, real dead, but now there's just full of people. Some of them even dressing up as Joker just to see that staircase, and the neighborhood's really upset about it.
What I believe they should do is the original house that was in Halloween with Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. That house where she babysits at, it's a real house. You can go visit. There are people who own it. They actually leave a pumpkin out there, so when she comes out and she's waiting on the corner with the pumpkin, you can actually take that photo. They just should embrace it. You know, put a Joker mask to the side. Be like, hey, just put it back after you're done. Or start charging.
Put a toll booth at the top of the stairs. Put a toll booth
at the top of the stairs. Like be like those total Santa Monica surfers. Like only locals up and down the stairs. If you want to take a picture, $2. I don't know why I made the Los Angeles hippie guy sound
more
New Yorker.
New Yorker. John Travolta.
John Travolta. It's Sandy. You can't walk out of a drive-in movie. Okay. All right, but I love the Joker. I recommend it for everyone to go see. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go see it again. Take your grandma. Go see it again. Take your grandfather.
Don't take your kids.
Do not take your kids whatsoever. That's one they're gonna miss.
The little kid goes dressed as Batman, comes up running out of the theater screaming, "No!
This is a Batman movie!" But moving on, in this, Kevin Smith started his tour for Reboot.
You completely skipped Star Wars.
No, Star Wars was right there. I got it. Don't worry about that.
Wow.
I'm driving this.
You make a list, you don't even follow the list.
Listen, this list was made at the last second. Give me a second.
I know, but still.
You didn't give me a chance to print out a script or nothing. Don't worry. So Kevin Smith started the Reboot Roadshow. That's December 6th for us here in Tucson. He has one December 5th in Phoenix.
Most expensive movie I will ever see.
How much you pay?
$50.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
$50
the
for a 2-hour movie.
justification I'm telling you for $50 is at least you get to see the guy who's in the movie on stage talking to you. Both guys.
At least I didn't pay $200 to meet the people.
Who did that?
I don't know, but I've heard a lot of people have done it.
I did that. All right. Another one I want to talk about real quick. Real fast. Dolomite. Eddie Murphy's comeback movie. It's on Netflix. I think there's in select cities. I'm not quite sure.
I will watch it tonight.
Dolomite. You saw the trailer. I saw the movie twice already. It is one of the funniest movies I've seen. It's really good. Just go see. Just watch Dolomite. Eddie Murphy. And he's coming back to host Saturday Night Live, which I think is cool. Yeah. So Star Wars. Disney Plus is coming around the corner. I think it's in 2 weeks. We're gonna
November 12th.
November 12th.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it for like 17 years, and then
Lifetime subscription.
Lifetime subscription, and what they're talking about, I believe they're gonna give Netflix a
Good
run
run.
for their money.
Oh, yeah.
Because you gotta remember, Disney bought out Fox.
Well, people
Fox
already
owned Hulu.
people are already
Hulu's
canceling
everything.
their Netflix subscriptions. People are already canceling those, and Hulu. People, I think Hulu's losing people too.
Well, the thing is, Disney owns Hulu. They're giving a package. So if you buy a package, it's like $12, and you get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN.
Can I do without the ESPN?
Well, you know, you want to see those cities burn when those championships are won.
The pole greasers, yeah.
The pole greasers. But
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I'll let you talk about that one. That one's your department.
Mandalorian. I saw the trailer, the second trailer that came out. I'm very excited. Everything looks like it's tactile. They did it on real sets. It's not green screen. And what is green screen, it looks beautiful.
And it feels very Rogue One.
It feels very Rogue One in the sense that it was directed right. Mm-hmm. I hope they give the Mandalorian a lot of of dialogue.
Leeway kind of thing. So they can use more.
If you think about it, Boba Fett says what? 2 lines in 3 movies?
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the most fan favorites. Now, they don't even confirm whether Boba Fett survives the Sarlacc pit, because this is after...
Actually, you know what? In just the trailers alone, he has more lines than Boba Fett.
Yeah, just the trailers alone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but in that, he has to articulate more. You're not going to see no facial expressions on this. We don't even know if he takes off his helmet. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to have to go off the premise that this guy rolls with his helmet on at all times, Boba Fett-ish, Mandalorian-ish, and he articulates more with his body. He does more. He speaks more with weaponry and action and combat than he does with words. But in this, you can already see there was characters from the movies in there. Mm-hmm. There you can see that it's very, very... There's a narrative that drives it forward, and I think that's bounties. So hopefully we get a couple bounties before we're taking on a big journey, so you can see how he acts, the way he moves.
It just doesn't start from episode 1.
The costume is awesome.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
I wasn't a big fan of the big bright chrome helmet to begin with. Chrome. Very shiny. What is that? Mad Max. Covered in chrome. But I wasn't a big fan of that, and but I'm actually coming around to it. I love the Shaw. I love everything about it. Where you
bring up a picture of it.
All right. He has a couple of weapons. He has a long rifle. He has a sidearm.
And you know the long rifle is the actual the 2-prong one.
Yes.
From the old animated series.
I saw that, and he looks good. You know, there's a scene where he gets shot and the bullet or the beam, the bolt just ricochets off. Yeah. And that right there, if you know anything about Star Wars, Mandalorian lore, that is authentic. That's great. I I think it's going to be good. I like what they're going here. We haven't seen nothing of his ship.
And he has a cape.
No capes.
He has a cape.
We've had this conversation. No capes.
He has a bigger cape than Boba.
I don't know what he's going to ride as a ship, but
they've named it. I just can't remember the name.
I don't know. It's not going to be Slave 1.
It's right there.
People were saying, "Oh, yeah, but that's just an artist depiction."
No, that's actually that's the ship.
That's the ship.
That's the ship. It's even in the trailer. It's a 2-engine ship.
I don't know what to call it, but I'm happy about it. What do you think?
Well, not everybody's gonna have a Slave 1.
Of course not. Slave 2.
Slave 73.
Slave. This is Slave action. Slave .4 take 7. All right.
Version 3.
Oh, in the trailer we saw IG-88.
Yeah.
Another iconic bounty hunter, Bosk.
I think we only saw him in Empire Strikes Back just once.
For 1 second, and he's standing there. I read a book called Mandalorian Armor that talks about when all of them are in that scene of them looking at each other. It has an IG-88 story of how he looks at Boba Fett. He believes he's human, but he moves like a robot. And so he's like, he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand it. And plus, he himself doesn't understand himself because he has consciousness of a human. He is an AI. But he can't laugh, can't talk, he can't do
And it was cool in the
stuff.
trailer, too. It was like, he's just flailing his arms around, but he's shooting targets like they're standing still, which is amazing.
And I can't say it's IG-88 because it didn't say its name yet. I'm just going to go with the fact that it looks like IG-88. It has an IG-88 head. It's IG-88. So
he has a perfect cape for a superhero landing.
Yeah, he does. Well, it doesn't go all the way to his ankles, but it's good. I always like the Shaw. It covers blasters and stuff. It shows him walking around with it. I can't wait.
He is a good shot. In the trailers, he was shooting stormtroopers like they were nothing.
He passed weapons qualifications.
Oh yeah.
So
and he's gonna be fighting the Death Troopers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, it's the what's Bosk? Is that?
It's the lizard people.
Yeah.
It's the lizard people that run the government.
Transdoshians? Transdoshians? Something like that?
Transatlantics. I don't know, man.
Oh, okay. Transatlantic flight.
But we're going in.
And this is supposed to be like 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So it's still fairly close to the Fall of the Empire because it shows in, stormtroopers.
You know what? There's one thing I don't understand. I haven't looked up. I'm gonna find it right now.
Who plays him?
Oh, okay. The guy who's playing the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal. He has a very short role in what is it called? Game of Thrones. He's a dude who's like, you raped my sister and you killed her children, and then he goes after the mountain.
Antonio Mendoza.
Yeah.
Killed my sister, prepare to die.
Princess Bride. No, this guy was in there, and I think it's good. They got the girl from Deadpool. She's in there. The big girl that starts fighting.
Fighter, wasn't she?
She was an MMA fighter. I forget her name. We'll get it real quick. Gina Carano. She played in Deadpool. She fought Colossus. She punched him in the area. But I'm very excited in it because the
only thing is
you have Carl Weathers in there, and I believe he's in another role in the Star Wars universe somewhere. I could be wrong, but I think he has a role in there.
And what's cool is he doesn't have a very intimidating voice, but the way he says his lines is intimidating.
Bill Burr has a role somewhere in here. The comedian.
Who is Bill Burr?
Bill Burr's a comedian.
I keep hearing about him, but I don't know who he is.
Bill Burr's a comedian. He's very funny, very unapologetic. He runs a podcast. And he does a lot of stuff with Joe Rogan on the road and stuff like that, which is Joe Rogan's like female, it's like male Oprah to men. So, but I'm excited now, just to know Gina Carano's in it. This Pedro Pascal guy.
One thing that does bum me is that they're going to release each episode week by week, so I can't sit down one evening and just watch the whole series. I have to wait week by week to watch it.
Yeah, they are coming out weekly. They're not going to be they're not going to give you all the episodes at once. You're not going to be able to binge because believe me, if we were able to binge watch this, we would be giving you the whole recap the very next day. We would stay up all night watching it. But I think it's better.
I think it's like 10 to 12 episodes.
Well, it's better for me because I can see my kids and I can spend time with my family. Like
but with somebody like me who has no life.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, on a day I'm off work, I'd like to just sit down and spend the whole day watching a series.
Hey, I'm with you 100%. I want 500 episodes. I want just sign me up for 500 episodes. I will pay you now in advance so you can start paying people to get this done. I'll pay for the bagel guy because it seems like the cheapest job.
And you know what? I wonder, because they already announced an Obi-Wan series, which is 6 episodes. I wonder if they're going to go straight into Obi-Wan or they're going to make a season 2 for this.
You were telling me this, and we were joking around saying that we wanted Obi-Wan to be like the opening scene of Platoon. They have like
sitting in the cantina in the corner, like drinking,
yelling at the mirror. And just like, you had enough, Obi-Wan. I'll tell you when I have more blue milk.
And like he's dressed in his Jedi robes, but when he stands up, he's in his boxers.
Yeah, it falls down. It's like, where's your pants? Like, I don't need pants. It's like,
I'm a general of the Republic.
He just starts fighting with the bar owner, and I just want the band in the background. Just stop, like, just watching the fight go down. Like,
I'm cutting you off with blue milk. No, give me the
That'd be great.
And then he's like, no, get out here. Give me your keys to your speeder and go. So like he gives him the keys and he's stumbling out. He knocks over one of the battery joints.
What I say, I want him to be like, you don't need my keys. I'm like, get your hand out of my face. What's wrong with you? So,
and then it cuts to like young Han Solo and Chewbacca. He's like, I hate to be that guy.
If you guys want to see Alcoholic Obi-Wan series, get at Disney Plus and
we're gonna start a GoFundMe page.
GoFundMe. You know, we're gonna, Obi-Wan the bar days. I want that theme song. But that's what for the Disney Plus and the Mandalorian. I'm excited once again. But we have Tucson Comic Con just around the corner, and I'll tell you this right now, I'm not too happy. But we have some people we know that are going to it. It's very entertaining. Was that number 4? 1,000.
That would have been 5, but he got away.
But great stuff there. And then we have the anti-hero that's going to be there. We have John Anthony Chick-Hack, Chihak, Chick-Hack, right? Whatever. But he does the Bubba Patrol. And he's one of ours, and we see him. If you watch some of our videos, you'll see him in the background of our videos. He is really nice, really cool. He does Bubba Patrol. He does also commission art. And have you seen some of his artwork? It's some of the greatest stuff I've ever seen. It's awesome. And he does the commission pieces really awesome. But the guest list is
small
for like the celebrity
small
because local artists always support the local comic book creators, local toy creators. Those guys are great. But just looking at it, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's the only one that I can say is like up there. You have Paul Blake. He played Guido.
Greedo.
Is that Guido? It's
Greedo.
What am I saying? Guido's like an Italian thing, right?
I think you have with Guido. His name is Guido. You can't say the R's.
His name is Guido. That's imparable. It's impossible. Anyways,
I have to go to work with
Then you have Johnny Young that played the Black Ranger in the Power Rangers movie, and then carried on from there into the TV series. He had a nice little run with the Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. You know, he does stuff with Jason David Frank when they go to conventions and stuff like that. And that's it. There's the other guys right there.
I don't
Eric Will, and Jim Fay, and there's another one. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I'm already horrible pronouncing names. There's only not a lot. They have a media guest going too. Cosplay guest. Here you go. Always Be Thor is going to be there. It's a kid who made his living being Thor. Kara Nickel. Don't know any of these people. That guy we've seen. Once again, these last names are crazy. Parallelogram.
That guy.
Well, we saw him walking around at Phoenix Comic Con with that giant Iron Man thing. Look, name's atrocious. I'm not lying. I don't know how to pronounce that stuff. So
we aren't paid to pronounce it.
We're gonna go, and I think the reason we're going is it's a tradition for us. We go every year. I've been
going since it was in a small ballroom in a hotel.
Yeah, I can say I've seen the same thing. We're gonna go there. There's a lot of comic book artists are gonna be there. There's gonna be a lot of cosplayers. If you guys see us, come say hi. And then to move on from there, the only thing I have here is Harley's news. The only thing I can say about it right now is if it goes through, which I hope it goes through, everything goes well. We're going to be at Harley's on November 26th, and that is going to be for an event. But I can't say what the event is because it's not confirmed yet. I got to get that confirmed, and we'll give you updates on Instagram. Facebook page should be coming soon.
We've been saying that for a couple of years.
About a year.
Yeah.
I just haven't got a chance to do the Facebook page because work and other good stuff. But yeah, November 26th, Harley's. Hopefully we can announce it soon. I'm probably going to call Ronnie to make sure everything's still good for that. But yeah, hopefully November 26th is another event we're going to be at the Tucson Mall at Harley's Toys and Comics. And yeah. This was just a quick little podcast. We wanted to get out to you guys. We haven't made no content in about a month, and we appreciate still subscribing, still hitting those like buttons. We appreciate all the comments.
What's Godzilla at now? I thought I saw 3 million earlier.
The Godzilla, our most biggest video, is actually past 3 million views.
I always like hearing little updates on that.
It's up there, man. It's.
And we're not even being paid for that one.
We're getting paid very little for that one because copyrighted music. We never knew we were going to blow up that big to get over, and we're on the road to 10,000 still.
We're a little over halfway there, aren't we?
I'll tell you exactly where we're at right now, because why not?
Oh, we're not halfway there.
We are at 9,380 and some change. So we're at 9,380.
Not bad.
83. So then some change. Bam. So it's
keep the change.
Keep the change. We're almost there. We're almost 10,000. Can't do it without you. If you already subscribed, share this with your friend. Post this anywhere.
Make another
hit the like button.
Account.
Assault the like button. I want you to punch it.
Make a second account.
Punch the like button. Just elbow dropping. Macho Man. Oh yeah. Just hit the elbow on the like button. Share the video. The more you guys get out there, the more advertisements we can push out to you guys. It's
bigger, better things we can do.
And the more stuff we can do. That's it for what I got. And,
help us leave our jobs so we could do this full time.
Right, you're talking to say, man.
I wouldn't mind doing this full time.
Yeah, right. If I get to 10, if you give me to 100,000, I'll do this full time.
Yeah,
100,000. Give me to 100,000.
We want that gold, silver, or silver play button.
I want a play button. You know what? We're gonna make our own play button. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have to make 10,000. We're gonna have to figure out how to make a 10,000 play button, but we're gonna do it. All right. Until we see you next time. I'm Cisco.
I'm Cody.
Keep making nerd art, and see you at Tucson Comic Con.